So those. No, yep, those were dolphins, and they'll be coming up somewhere around us. There we are. That's mama, baby, that's dad, and 1-year-old. They're basically that food's coming out. They're cleaning up the sushi buffet. Keep your eyes out over here. They're gonna be popping up with the baby. The baby needs to come up at least every 30 seconds, and they don't have much water over there, the sandbar, so they should be coming up right in this general area anytime. Okay, now they just split off. Now they're herding. Now they're splitting off into families, and they're going to use their tails. Mom and dad will shock them, and then they'll send baby or 1-year-old up through the center, and you'll get a big old mouthful. What's that?
How small are what they're feeding on?
They can be anywhere from Spanish mackerel, a foot long, to anywhere in the food chain. They just want to maximize their feeding. Yeah, right now they're herding like cowboys. See how they're circling around? They're circling those schools of fish, and now they're going to take turns going through the middle. Check this out. This is National Geographic stuff here, brother. And they split off. See how they split off? And they're going like cowboys herding cattle right now. They're all over in circles herding fish. And then they're going to get back in. They'll start splashing. They'll shock them with their tail. And you got 3 different families. One here, one over there, and one over there. And they'll use that giant wall, that super pod, to get a bunch of fish blocked off, and then they'll break off into families and chow down and herd them. So this one seems to be the most active right now, right up front. And you can tell the size obvious is the biggest difference. And you can tell which one is the baby, which right now is about 3 to 4 months old. We had an early mating season this year because our water's warmed up early. The dolphins and the marine life, they don't have New Year's Eve, Valentine's Day, or Barry White music to know when it's time to mate, so they use water temperature. So when it hits 85, they all start mating. So we had a light winter last year, our water said 85 early, so our birthday season was early. So the dolphins, the babies you're seeing now, you got 3 of them in front of you, swimming right alongside their mama, and they're anywhere from 3 to 4 months old. They actually breathe through their nose and mouth like we do, but they have the blowhole to blow out, so it allows them to swim effortlessly, come up, get air, and on their way back down, they're blowing it out. They don't breathe through the blowhole, only out. Suck through the nose and mouth, blow out the blowhole. So it allows them to be perfect swimmers. Okay. The second thing is here we go, they're herding right now. The second thing is that they have a sonar built into them, guys. That's more advanced than any submarine or anything that man's ever made. Okay? And by that, they send out a sound wave that travels. They can be swimming at 25 miles an hour. They share the same characteristics as we do, including vision. They can't see underwater. Most of the time when they're swimming, their eyes are closed. And so they can see a little bit like us, but not much. So they send that sonar out, and if it comes back large solid object, they'll avoid it. If it comes back large scattered object, the hunt's on. And then once they find those schools of fish, then they use their hunting skills, their herding skills. On our way back in, we'll see our friends down in Coon Key should be beaching, which is where they're going up into the shallows along the beach. And basically they're teaching their babies how to hunt. They're feeding heavy right now at this tide change. Those fish are just coming at them. They're just mouths are open. Giant sushi buffet. Does that make sense?
How much sushi do they eat on an average?
They can eat 100 pounds a day very easily. Yep. It's a lot of...
Pallet boards for you. Dolphins and friends, dolphins and friends. With thrill and tours, you will see dolphins and friends.
The other two are on the side. See how they're working? They're always in formation when they're hunting like this. They're teaching the 1-year-old how to hunt, be a perfect hunter, and they're teaching the baby the beginning basics of hunting. It's important that they work together as a group. If they get a 1-week cold front, it's important that by then baby knows how to work together as a team, and at least help in the herding process of how to feed to survive. Baby's most vulnerable because she doesn't have near as much body fat yet, so she needs the food even more so. The 6 months breastfeeding or feeding on the milk tube, and then they'll go to the almost year number 2, and when they reach sexual maturities right before the 2nd year, they get their little red rocket starts shooting out their belly, and then they go off and start making their own family.